The Clark Mills Historical Society meets the third Wednesday of each month at the popular Clark Mills Senior Citizen Center. On our way to our meeting, Richard gets swept into a morning exercise class. We interrupt a game of billiards downstairs where we find a display of artifacts from the history of Clark Mills.
Well, originally the Clark brothers, who were in Connecticut, came to this town. They started a grist mill, and from that came the town's name, Clark's Mills. Well, the water was a big thing because the Oriskany Creek ultimately powered the mill. Hind and Harrison built their mill. They actually had a generator in the mill and generated electricity. Also powered the town, the lighting and so forth. Well, Jack Wright was one of the early aviation folks, pioneers in this area. He started the New York State School of Aviation. That was during the Depression era. My uncle, who's still alive, ACAC, was one of his students, and they built several aircraft and restored a couple of aircraft. A couple of racers, as a matter of fact, one of them was called the Waddell Williams Racer. And they also built a glider known as the City of Utica.
I'm holding some plush, and it's pretty well settled that people drove all over the United States and beyond in Fords, that the seats had this kind of plush, and the plush was made here in Clark Mills. Beyond that, it was also used for babies' coats and to line caskets. So in a sense, the plush that was made here in Clark Mills was with you, or is with you, from cradle to grave.
And his son.
When you tour Clark Mills, there's no mistaking that this was a mill town. Many of the two-family mill houses still line the streets, and like much of early American history, the community revolved around the mills. Those mills sprung up around our most basic need, water. On the banks of the Oriskany Creek, we find the remains of the original mill of the Clarks, now a private residence.
Oh, what a feeling it is.
I am at the original site of Clark's Mill here in Clark's Mills, and I'm sitting on top of a millstone. It's a pretty big, heavy thing, and when they said having a millstone around your neck, they meant something really serious. After the Clarks, Arthur Hind bought the house behind me, and inside of this house was the most valuable stamp in the entire world, and he outbid the King of England to buy that stamp.
If you go down to the railroad tracks, follow them away, you come across an old farmhouse that still stands there today. There's a tree-lined drive, a carriage house, fields tall with hay.
Clark Mills has always been known as a mill town, going way back into the 1800s. It still is a mill town here at Rofin. Heat exchangers are manufactured here, and from little old Clark Mills they are shipped worldwide.
Looks out on the rolling.
When the original mills owned by the Clarks failed in the late 1800s, the area went into severe decline. When the Englishmen Hind and Harrison bought the mills for their plush business, they brought many of the mill workers with them, and the community began to resemble England, complete with a cricket field. But soon to follow were the Italians, Polish, German, and Lebanese.
Typical of mill owners, Mr. Hind and Mr. Harrison, when they came here, they not only provided the work for the people who lived here, they also provided them with homes and a store and a community center, the one behind me, and they also provided them with their own electricity. Back then, people didn't travel too far from home. They stayed in their own communities, and here in Clark Mills, they had this building. Inside there was everything you can imagine, bowling alleys. Outdoors there were tennis courts, and today it continues to have a vibrant and very active life because it is operated by the American Legion Post 26.
On the grounds is a recently recovered F-6 Night Fighter aircraft engine from a local Navy pilot's plane that crashed at sea in 1945.
If you're looking for the best in hot dogs, you can come here to the Four Corners in Clark Mills to Melons Market, because the hot dogs here are made with nothing but fresh products from the very beginning. They're made right here on the premises. Here you may find them referred to as Frankfurters because Bob learned the art of making hot dogs from a master German sausage maker. And you don't have to go to Germany to get them. Just come here to Clark Mills.
My family started in 1946. Before that, it was owned by the Lynch family. Then my grandfather took it over, and I can't tell you the timeline. My mother and father bought it in 1946 from my grandfather. They ran it until 1982, just after my dad passed away, and then I bought it from my mother, and I took it over at that point. I kind of built the back room of the store, and I wanted to go more in a full line of meat because you had your big stores coming in, your box stores, so you couldn't compete with groceries and the produce prices and stuff like that. So I wanted to get more into the meat items. I make everything here. I cut everything here, I make everything here. Every product in my store is made by myself. My wife works the counter with me and stuff, but everything in the store is made by me. I have nobody make any products here. I make fresh sausages, Italian sausages, smoked sausage, kielbases. I smoke my own hams in the holiday seasons, make some of my own cold cuts. So I enjoy the back end of my store. I really enjoy making the product. And it's awful nice when you make something and somebody comes back and gives you the compliment, but it's the best hot dog I've ever had, or you made my Easter because the ham was outstanding. So I guess it's, you know, it's not all money, believe me. In a small business, it's not all money. It's more the enjoyment of the customer.
The dog days of summer are here, and a few lucky pooches are getting their cool summer trim from Doggone It, a local pet groomer for 30 years. Everyone's looking to cool down today, and nothing sounds better than Mr. Frosties. This popular local hangout serves barbecued pork, hot dogs, and burgers, and today we all scream for ice cream.
I understand you have a doggy special here. What is it?
Yes, it is a little cone. It's a baby cone. And we put vanilla ice cream on it and we stick a cone in it. Or a little doggy biscuit.
We'd like, here, that's
There
it?
it is.
Oh, isn't that cute? This is fine for the dog, but I like something a little bit bigger for myself. Do you have a cone for me?
Certainly.
Oh, well, no. Could I have this dipped in
Certainly.
cherry, please? Thank you. So life is either a bowl full of cherries, or here at Mr. Frosty's, one good-sized cherry dip. Oh, wow. The building here next to the post office in Clark Mills may look very quiet right now, but it's hopping inside, and it's really going to be hopping in a couple of weeks. Mark your calendar for July 1st, because that's when Grandma's Lebanese Bread Company will be opening, and right now I'm going inside to meet Grandma. So, are you Grandma Bedelia?
Yes, I am Grandma Bedelia.
Get another name?
Do I? B.B. Lewis.
BB.
BB.
And who's this fellow over here?
He is my grandson.
And I understand that you have given him all of your famous recipes.
I give him all my famous recipes, and I got another recipe to give him.
Okay.
That is rice and lentils,
Uh-huh.
rolled like a sausage roll, and prick it with a fork.
Okay.
And bake it and egg wash it.
And then he's going to be opening this place on July 1st, right?
On July 1st,
And
if hoping.
that's going to happen, right? Oh, and why is it that he's doing all this now?
He's doing this right now is because he loves it, he's interested in it, and he wanted me to teach him how to make it. I tried to discourage him, and I couldn't discourage him. So I said, okay, let's go for it. And I started teaching him how to make it. And this is how it started.
And do I
And
dare?
let me tell you something, the
Go
people
ahead.
are crazy about it.
I'm sure they are.
You can go in all the city of Utica, you'll never find bread like this.
And if I were to do something very impolite, can I ask you your age?
I just told you I was 91. Oh, you're
Yeah, but see, well, yeah, now it's on film. See, now it's on film. The whole world is going to know
91
now.
years old.
You don't have to wait until Grandma's Bread Company opens in July. You can find their bread at Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, Hapanowitz in New York Mills, and the Deansboro Superette.
What we can see, traveling round the Mohawk Valley. Let's see.
As we leave Clark Mills, we see a sure sign of summer. Humphrey's green beans are popping up in fields everywhere.
It's time for